Howdy, folks. Good evening. Welcome to the least rootinest, tootinest live stream around. This is the Sunday Night Stumbles here on the B tier channel. This is the waste bin, the lowest. Anyways, I'm going to get off that train of thought. Thanks for tuning in. It's Sunday, August 24th. I see a lot of people in the chat already. Stephanie Jackson, Alicia Lewis, Medano, Steve Tropics. Is it still doing that thing with the names? I can kind of see your names. Drew Costin is here. Marge, Mamie True, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. KT, Boom Productions, Vivian Johnson, Jeanette Sunjib. Thank you, Chris Mills, and everyone else. It's getting a little hard to read your names. I don't know why YouTube hasn't fixed this problem, right? Lisa D. Young, thank you. Good evening, Nikki Power, and everyone else. Jennifer Gala, thanks for tuning in. Canadian Vasily, Mojo, Epic Nation HD. I heard a little rumor that someone is really bothered by me wearing these sunglasses. Like, it gets under their skin a little bit. So whenever I hear that, that just makes me very happy. So we've gone with the sunglasses again. Whoever you are, sorry, not sorry. I'm happy to troll, but thank you. Why is it morning to you? Because I just woke up. I literally, I went to a 80s, 90s dance night at Sneaky D's yesterday. First, I went downstairs in Sneaky D's. I hadn't been to the downstairs part in a very long time. Had some of their famous nachos and an adult beverage or two. Went upstairs. Yeah. So I kind of slept in today. Woke up, saw bits and pieces of the Blue Jay game, watched the last 3 innings. Kind of wish I didn't do that. Went back, took a nap, woke up at 7, hopped in the shower, was like, shit, I usually go live at 8. So, yeah, that was my whole day. I did nothing. I had a smoothie. I ordered a sausage McMuffin and a coffee in the morning and went right back to bed. Thank you, Uber Eats. You were way cheaper than the McDonald's app for some reason. And that's all I did today. So, unfortunately, we're going to probably hold off on these. We'll save these maybe to next Sunday, but we're not going to be having any of this stuff. We're not going to be having any adult beverages. We're trying to, I don't know, trying to get my shit together. Math Doctor says Chipotle after this. Probably just a big protein smoothie or something, right? That's probably what I'm going to do. But we'll have a selection, natural flavor blackberry. Selection, natural flavor blackberry. Lisa says Uber Eats was picker than just pickup. No. My tired, hungover ass was not up to walking to McDonald's. But the Uber home last night, Uber, not Hop, not Lyft, from Sneaky D's all the way up to Yonge and Eglinton was like $11. Okay, I didn't know why Uber gifted me such a cheap ride, but I was feeling like I saved a lot. So I was like, yeah, let's order some breakfast to my door. We all deserve that every once in a while, right? Even if it's trash McDonald's. But anyways, yeah, we're gonna have this blackberry peach. Sorry, no adult beverages. But it's been a fun weekend. Justin says, yesterday I had a Dr. Pepper and vodka cocktail. Interesting. Johnny, do you need prescription lens now? No. No. Bill Chow, 220 watching. Your B tier channel has as many viewers as some. Well, it's not about viewers. It's about quality. And we all know the quality of this one ain't very good. Viewer count, schmewer count. It's all about the quality. I'm sitting in a chair. I didn't go outside today. I was hoping to get some videos because I'm going away soon. Videos done. But Friday night, I went out. I got an invite, so thank you, Marie Palmer and Mark D, to meet up with Brad Palmer and Marie Palmer, who are from up north in this great province of ours. So I went down to Queens Harbor on the harborfront. I met Brad, I met Marie, super friendly, down-to-earth people. It's great to meet Brad for the second time, Marie for the first time. Marg It was great to see you again. I met Bighorn MT, I think his channel was. I met Upstate New York Bob, which was neat. He's been a viewer for quite a while. I met, Vasily and Liam was there. Henry Goes Around and his wife was there. It was a really, really good meal. It was a nice restaurant. Like, looked kind of bougie. Looked kind of like trying too hard in the trying to be hip department. But the service was phenomenal. They were super nice. They were super friendly. The prices were reasonable. The food was great. It was a place that was like begging for me to shit on it. And I was just impressed. I'm like, this is a nice restaurant. I would recommend this. I will go back. So it was really nice. Janice Pike says you were there. Janice Pike, I missed you. But yeah, that's what I did. But so I made a video before that. And then I went live. Brad Palmer was there for part of the live stream. It was great streaming with you, Brad. And Liam was there, and we met some of the others. Then I went off and did my own thing. Then I made a video, and then I made another video. So I just like tired myself the fuck out on Friday night. And then Saturday, I just went out. Henry was doing his big thing. I had a few different obligations to attend to on Saturday, so sorry I missed it, Henry. But it looks like your meetup was quite the success, and a lot of people got to hang out with you for a good part of the day. Awesome stuff, Henry. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it. I did have a few hours of time in the afternoon, so I went down and I did Fan Expo. Yeah, normally my videos aren't super focused on people watching, but this one kind of was, just because everyone's like dressed up in like all these sci-fi and anime characters. It really, really is like a spectacle to see. If you're ever in town during Fan Expo, just go for a walk along Bremner, go up to front, walk along that, and just have a lot of fun, because there's a lot of really, really interestingly costumed, I don't know how to say that, people. I ran into a TikToker there, one who I had met before. He was going live. Chowdhury, remember, for 1 month. Stumbler, Chowdhury, thank you for 1 month of channel membership. Gertej says, when are you leaving for vacation? We'll get back to that in a moment, Gertej. So that's what I did. And then today, yeah, you heard my story of today. Today, I did nothing. Mark D says, hey, Johnny Strides, I like the restaurant and food. Yeah, I did as well. It was excellent. Johnny is an Andrew McCarthy lookalike. Yeah, I'm just hiding these panda eyes. These panda eyes. But yeah, it was a great restaurant. I don't have anything negative to say about it. And it was nice to see you again, Marg. And yeah, where are we? Oh yeah, Peter Bradfield, if you're out there, if you're watching, I know you said you weren't going to be tuning in for the next little while. Best of luck with your surgery. I hope, there's a lot of really awesome people in the community thinking about you. I hope it goes as well as it can, and we look forward to seeing you back in the chat. So good luck, Peter Bradfield. I know you don't need it, but I want to say it anyways. So wish you the best, Peter. Lisa says the username thing is annoying when trying to read the chat. Yeah, I'm doing my best, but it's a little difficult. Gertej says, I hear the Toronto Blue Jays lost. They did. But yesterday they did something that had never been done in the modern era of baseball. They coughed the lead up in like 3 consecutive innings and then came back to win. But the Manfred runner was really the reason for that. I just slapped my phone. I don't know. You guys might notice this, or might not, but I'm a ring person now. Look at that. I'm wearing a ring. I'm not going to tell you which brand this is or which company sent this to me, but I've mentioned it before. Normally, I don't shill products. I get sponsorship offers up the yin-yang. BetterHelp, a company that I trashed. I severely questioned the integrity of any YouTuber pitching BetterHelp on their channels, because it's basically a bullshit service that does a lot more harm than good. There's a lot of videos exposing them, and a lot of big YouTubers have been peddling them. And the way it works is, if you're a small YouTuber, usually you get like just a cut of the affiliate sales, right? If you sign up through this link, you get a little kickback. The bigger YouTubers, they get paid for basically inserting a commercial into their YouTube ad and they get a cutback. Guess what? BetterHelp emailed me and asked me if I was interested in doing an integration in my videos. Like, really? I don't expect you to watch this channel, but I'm pretty sure I shit talk them on the Johnny Strides channel. No, sorry. I know I don't have a lot of integrity, but what little integrity I have is not going to your fucking company. But anyways, a fitness tracking ring company reached out to me and they're like, would you be interested in trying this? It'll track your sleep. It'll track, a lot of your health habits. It'll track your steps. And I'm like, that's up my alley, right? I literally walk around for a living. That's exactly something I would do. I use a watch, which I purchased on my own, that does all those things, but apparently this one can do a lot more things as well. It even tells me when it's like okay to have caffeine. I don't know how legit that is. Lisa says I should wear it on the janky finger. So I'm trialing this. I'm going to wear it for a few weeks. I want to get the hang of it. I want to learn the app. I want to learn the battery. How does the battery perform? I have no idea of knowing if the stats are accurate. I don't really know about my watch either, but is the app working fine? I'm going to do it a week with the Android phone, a week with the iPhone, so I can experience it with both phones. And then I told them flat out, if I don't like it, I'm just going to send it back to you. But if I like it, I'll mention it on the channel. Not even like do a commercial. I'll just like show it on my walks and I'll put a link to it in the description. So full transparency, I am trialing a new product. Usually when companies reach out to me and want me to sponsor them, they're like selling janky Chinese knockoffs of major products. Like I don't have GoPro reaching out to me. It's usually like the shit you see on Temu and AliExpress. So it was kind of cool that like an actually big in this field company reached out to me and asked me if I was interested. So I was like, yeah. The last time that happened, it was Rode, actually. That was the last sort of like A-tier company to do that. So I'm testing this. You might see it, but if you never hear from this again, that means I didn't like it and I sent it back. But if I do like it, or if I do think it's of some value to people, I'll be featuring it in a few videos. Hopefully not in an overly annoying way. Douglas Blackwell says, is it a Chinese ring? We will leave that until I reveal the brand. But the people, and that's one thing, whenever a YouTuber talks about a product, it's really, really hard to talk about the customer service experience because you're getting VIP treatment from them. Like it's like FedExed overnight. The shipping takes like a day. Is that your experience when you order something? So I'm not going to talk about the procurement process because, I'm pretty sure they're not going to like overnight it from overseas for you if you order it. They're not going to like come running if you have any problems with a direct line. So yeah, that whole aspect, it's impossible to be transparent. But anyways, Lisa says, let me tell you, the customer service experience at Walmart today was lacking. Can you really blame someone who faces the public working in a Walmart? I would lose my effing shit if that was my job. I think the first 10 customers of the day would get sparkling customer service. And then as soon as someone tries to return something they have no business returning and raises their voice at me, yeah, I'm just going to get fired. I don't think I could. Props to those people. You're fucking angels. Even if you give lousy, shitty service, you're an angel for taking that job and dealing with the general public, especially at a Walmart. No offense, but yeah. So Lisa, that doesn't surprise me, but I wouldn't hold that against the actual employee. The Ring seems like a potential Black Mirror episode. Possibly. So on the fitness thing, the one thing I can't do with this is work out with this. Like when I'm lifting weights and stuff, I take it off. You can actually like de-ring or whatever they call your finger, where if the ring catches on like the bar and if the ring's on too tight, it can like strip all the skin off your finger. So it's really, really stupid to wear a ring while you're lifting weights. I did not know that. I did not know that because I'm an idiot, but I found that out when it was like I just went to work out and I was wearing it. I'm like, cool, this is going to track my workout. And I picked up the barbell and I was like, this doesn't feel very good. And then I just went to Chat GPT. Is it safe to like, lift weights wearing a ring? And it was like, no, absolutely do not ever do that. So off the ring it went. And if you're wondering why it's on this finger, I'm wearing it on this finger, this finger, this finger, and this finger. It's not going on the janky finger. The dude wearing the 20-pound chain that went into the MRI area, I don't want to know about that. Greg worked with a guy that lost a finger in a similar accident. How does the ring match finger size? They send you a ring sizing kit. So they sent me like a little package and it had not a million, but it had like 10 little rings to try on, little plastic ones. So I just found one that was very snug on my middle finger, but it's also like snug enough on my index finger. That way I can wear it on 2 different fingers. But yeah, I feel like I've broken or sprained every one of my fingers, and I feel like I have a splint on my finger. Like I'm very hesitant to like touch stuff and do that sort of thing. So it is what it is. Sorry, someone's calling me right now. Oh, one thing. When I was in Bangkok, remember I had that incident where TD froze my credit card when I was trying to buy a friggin' donut and a coffee at Tim Hortons, and there was a big lineup of people, and they send you a text message, is this you? And I was like, my card's not working, and I don't have my SIM card in this phone because I'm traveling. I'm using an eSIM. I have no way of knowing, but I didn't know they did that. So I'm standing there like an idiot. Tap pay. Sorry, it didn't work. Okay, let's try again. Tap pay. Didn't work. Big line of people. Let me pull out my card, shove it in the machine, type in my PIN. Doesn't work. Finally, I like switch and use another card. And that's like the 10,000th time TD has done that to me while I'm traveling. They've also, I'm pretty sure someone impersonated me and they gave them access to my bank account, because there was a time when someone emailed themselves a whole lot of money right out of my checking account, and TD would give me no information about that while I was locked out of my own account, and it took them a while to reimburse me. I've had all sorts of issues. I had a problem where they froze my account when I lived in Korea. So guess what? I liquidated my TD account. I am debanking. Fuck you, big 5 banks. I am out. I got rid of my TFSA. I got rid of my RSP. I got rid of my locked-in RSP line of credit. That's gone. Checking account gone. I had like 7 accounts with TD Bank. They're all off of TD Bank. My balance says 0 beside every single account number. And those fuckers, they make you keep $6,000 in your bank. And if you go below that by 1 cent, they charge you $30 a month. And the only benefit I was getting from that was, they say you get unlimited transactions. Big whoop. Like, who cares about that? Like, how often do I need to do a bank transaction? But to save $30 a month, you have to keep $6,000 in there. You make no interest, and they waive your annual credit card fee. So, you might recall I switched to using an Amex card earlier. That covers all my like travel benefits, like emergency medical and all that stuff. So I had no use for like my TD Aeroplan card. I found a free Aeroplan card to use as a backup from CIBC. So I'm canceling everything. TD completely. I'm going to hopefully go into the branch tomorrow, if not whenever I get back from where I'm going. And I'm going to close that fucker down. I switched it to the minimum plan, so I might have to pay like $4 a month until I cancel it. But yeah, Math Doctor says Amex Cobalt raised their prices recently to $15. I didn't know that. I think mine's still like $12.99 a month. Either way, the Cobalt card is amazing, but it's so weird. I've been with TD Bank for 25 years. 0 loyalty from those fucks. They don't give you any perks. All they do is sit on your money. They try to sell you these shitty mutual funds where they make money hand over fist with their management fees, when just like simply doing a Reddit search for an ETF would get you a way better yielding investment. So yeah, I'm done. My bitterness is done. TD Bank is done. I'm with a new institution. Not new to me, but actually two. I don't put all my eggs in one basket. I've got all my stuff in two places. Neither are a major bank. It feels cool. It feels good. And yes, it's insured. I'm not going to say who or what just yet. But yeah, I did it. I got rid of TD. K9 Express says, I love this. TD insurance is just as bad. They're making money. They don't care. Yeah, but whatever. Fuck big banks. They are leeches. Lisa says, congratulations. Jollykin says, wise. I have that same arrangement. Never leave it to one. Greg says, tangerine. Yeah, I don't know. We don't have SoFi in Canada. I wish we had SoFi. Sankofa Bank and Trust. Yes, Mike T. Oh my goodness. That festival, Sankofa Fest, was going on this weekend. And I really wanted to go there and like rip into it. But I was like, this might be a bad look, right? Like, yes, this name is fucking stupid. It's an absolute disgrace to the country, the city, the taxpayers, everyone in Toronto. But like, I don't want to shit on people during a celebration. I would probably get called some things. Maybe I just wanted nothing to do with that. So I thought, here's a good topical video. I can go shit on this thing, get a little ranty, but it was like, no, not worth it. Not worth bringing that kind of negative heat to myself. So maybe we'll do that video after this weekend, after the dust has settled. I don't know. But yeah, that's it. Jenny K says, weren't you going to protest with signage? I thought it was just going to be like an unveiling. I didn't know it was going to be this whole like festival with like music and performers and, you know, basketball.
Have you seen that crazy lady's bits about you?
Joanna 279. Have you? Oh God. Thank you. First and foremost, thank you for the 279. I think I know what you're talking about. Okay, so I'll just say this. Thanks for the super. Over the past few days, yeah, I've been getting not a lot of DMs, but a few DMs about someone spewing some nonsense about me. And yeah, I didn't watch the videos. I saw some clips. Some people like screen recorded and sent me that. They just pulled out their camera and sent me that. All I'll say is, what, I've been doing this channel since, or not this channel. This is the B tier channel. Devesh says that lady is unhinged and clearly jealous of your success. No shit, you said it. I don't have to say anything now. But I've been doing this channel, or the other channel, since what, 2018? I've been full-time for 5 years. We've had what, over 46 million views, 138,000 subscribers, over 3,000 videos. It's not by any means a huge channel. It's not small potatoes either, but it's certainly big enough that over the years, I've been called just about every name there is. There's enough trolls, there's enough negative comments and toxicity out there that, you know, you could fill a novel as big as Moby Dick 10 times over if you put all that shit that's been said about me in a book. And unfortunately, the sad reality is it's a really, really sad commentary on the state of humanity that you can't have a social media presence. You can't have a channel. You can't have a big Instagram account or like a small to medium sized one even without nasty little trolls coming out of the woodwork, people accusing you of things, people name calling you. Yeah. So the one thing I've learned is you have to have thick skin, right? You have to have thick skin. And yeah, that's about it. Like, I grew that thick skin. So I don't care. I don't care who you are or what you say. You're not going to live rent free in my house, or rather in my head. And I'm not going to engage with you. I have avoided drama with so many different people trying to kick it up and start it over the years. There's like a stink that goes along with that it just doesn't belong on my YouTube channel, right? I don't want to engage in throwing shit at other people, especially when they started it. They're starved for attention, right? Whether it's jealousy or bitterness, or they just don't have any good content to stand on their own, that they need to be a leech and make other people the center of their content by just being a nasty piece of shit or whatever it is they're being. Lisa, $5 to not throwing shit. Yeah, so let's just let this be all I'll say on the topic. Yeah, I learned a long time ago, you just have to ignore that nonsense and move on, right? Let them float around in their own little dinghy in an ocean of their own salty tears, or die on whatever hill they want, banging their pots and pans as loud as they can. They're just, that's it. That's it. Let them do that. You go into your own little corner and you can be a troll. And for the record, this particular person that a lot of people have been bringing to my attention, not once have I ever said a negative thing to them or about them on my channels. Not once. I've never said a single bad thing. I've never been unsupportive of them. In fact, there was a time when I was very supportive of them when something negative happened to them. Like, it makes no sense. I've been accused of things that's not true, right? They said things about me that are patently false. And the one thing that I think, okay, I'm going on way too long, but the one thing that just recently happened that I think crosses a line ethically, morally, and probably legally from like a defamation point of view is calling me a liar, claiming that, as you know, I was on City Pulse reached out to me, CTV reached out to me and said, hey, we just want to do an interest story on you, like just a story about you. I guess it's a slow news day. I said, okay. They called me, did a little interview. During that interview, they asked me how much I made, which kind of took me back because I have never once in my life told anyone how much I made. That's frankly none of your business. Unless you're the Canada Revenue Agency, I'm not telling you that, right? Or if I'm applying for a loan or something. So they asked me that, and I was kind of taken back, but I was like, all right, I kind of tiptoed around it, didn't really give an answer. And then they pushed, and I was like, okay, well, last year was a pretty good year. I did much better than the year before. And the guy was like, oh, really? How much? Can you ballpark it? So I did. And that turned to be like the headline of the story. And anyways, this person was basically claiming that I lied about that to the media to get notoriety, which is not true. I would never do that. I actually have the receipts for that. And they also claimed they called in to this channel. They claimed they called in to this channel and asked me how much I made. Thank you, Peter. And asked me how much I made. And I denied making, six figures. First of all, I wasn't even aware that this person had called in before. I have no memory or recollection of that. And I've certainly never publicly answered that question. I've always been kind of modest. I've always kind of tiptoed around it. I've never directly answered it. Among friends and family, I've always kind of downplayed it. So if this conversation that I have no memory of taking, remember, we've only been taking phone calls on this channel for what, like a year and a bit. So if this, and I've never deleted any of these live streams. I've never removed them. I've never edited any viewer call segments. I've edited a few things where, maybe I shared something on my screen I shouldn't have. But if you can find this conversation, please, send me a DM, because I would love to hear it, because apparently they said they stopped listening to me in 2023. We weren't even taking phone calls in 2023, so how's that even possible? I don't know. But I would love, but they accused me of lying, saying I said, no, I don't make six figures. Here's the thing. I'm not going to tell you guys what I make. That's none of your business. But when I did my taxes in March, that was the first time it really dawned on me that, yeah, I did make that much. And the reason for that was when you pay your taxes, I pay my installments based on the prior year. Well, in March of this year, I did my taxes, I filed them, and I owed tens of thousands of dollars to the CRA. And that's when I realized, oh shit, I had a pretty good year. I paid all my installments on time, and I still owe a lot of money. It was a unicorn year. I had a good year. And that is what I told the dude at CTV. So yeah, fuck you for saying I'm a liar. I didn't lie. I can prove it. And I think that's beyond the pale to say something about that, to say something like that about someone. Anyways, yeah, clearly they have issues. I hope they get help. I hope they find a better source of content for their channel. Just making your whole identity not being me, it's not working. Go find something else. But anyways, yeah, that's it. And by the way, this year, not as good as last year. We'll just say that. Yeah, I'm not buying the Lambo. I'm not retiring anytime soon. But yeah, last year was like a unicorn year. It was really good. It was a good year. Peter Bradfield says throwing shit would be bad for your own hands. Thank you, Peter Bradfield. You are here. Peter Bradfield, thank you so much for tuning in. I know you're going through a lot. I know, surgery is on the horizon for you. A lot of people have been wishing you well over that. But yeah, throwing shit's bad for your hands. And I apologize for that. I just, I want no part of drama on either of my channels. Period. That's just a shitty way to make content. That's a way of saying, unless it's like justified, but I don't think I did or said a bad thing to or about this person ever. So they need help. I hope they get it. I hope they find a better source of content. I'm not going to take down their videos for defamation, which you can do on YouTube. And, I could easily make the case that's the case. I'm not going to be petty. I'm not going to do that. I'm a huge believer in free speech. If you want to run your mouth and say stupid shit, you're only shining a spotlight on yourself, right? And you should be allowed to do that. It's a free society. If you want to put that up on YouTube, be my guest. But I'm not going to engage with you beyond this on this channel. That's it. End of story. Anyways, Whitby Dude says maybe the interviewer shouldn't have asked the question. That's his job, though. Their job is to try to get a headline. Maybe I shouldn't have answered the question, but I did. I felt really embarrassed when I saw that was the headline. I also felt a little bit like an imposter, because it's yeah, that's true. It's not untrue. But that hasn't been true for the 5 years I've been doing this channel. That well above quote only applies to last year. It's probably not going to apply to this year, and it's probably not going to apply to the previous years, but it's not untrue. So I see why they ran with it. Zoomer Radio, the Moses Znaimer radio station, reached out to me right away. So I was on Zoomer Radio on the Monday morning. Great experience, great host, super friendly people, very top flight professional production. Then CBC reached out to me, and I guess, I don't know if that was from Zoomer or if that was from CTV that they got the idea to call me. It must have just been a really slow news week. I don't know, but CBC reached out to me, so I ran into the studio. That was amazing. Going into their studio, going through security, getting into like just see stuff that you don't normally get to see, right? Like this is kind of like the dinky Timu version of a studio, like at home. You know, I've got some fucking lights, a camera, a microphone. There, you're in like a professional broadcasting situation, right? There's like a producer, engineer, you know, dude, David Common, I think. He was awesome. He was so friendly. He was so personable. In between his bits, he was just having a really down to earth conversation with me. It wasn't like sit down, monkey, dance, answer these questions, and get out of here. They were just super friendly people, and I think the CBC is like a super underrated service. They're the only. It's sad that they're the only media outlet that like holds people accountable. Marketplace is such an invaluable resource. They post videos on their YouTube channel about this. Those videos are super valuable. We would basically just, I mean, they're obviously kind of social leaning, but we would just be living in like a pure propaganda war with right-wing nuts throwing shit at left-wing nuts if we didn't have them. So I'm grateful for their existence. I'm glad they had me on, but yeah, that is that. But David Common is an awesome dude. Epic Nation HD says Bighorn is live, Mr. Strides. If you want to say hello, Bighorn MT. I met him. I got like 100 messages on my phone here. I met him on Friday night. Really, really friendly guy. We might be able to take a look. Bloodhound says, Johnny, with that article, you're going to see a bunch of new walktubers trying to be the next Johnny, not realizing how much work and time it takes. Work, time, and luck. I think luck was a big part of it. Yeah, I don't know. Jay says they wrote an article I didn't like about a guy I didn't like. They need to be defunded. Yeah, there's a crazy narrative. What about CP24? Should they just shut down their operation? What about the Toronto Star? They fucking ran a full page article on me with my stupid face. Should they just go up in flames and disappear, right? Even Moses Znaimer's like organization had me on. I guess all media be damned. Let's only listen to extreme right-wing TikTokers. I don't know. The few times I've watched you before now, I can tell you're a stand-up guy. Thank you. I try to be modest, but I'm also petty, and I'm also a dick. I'm by no means perfect, and you will see those qualities if you watch my videos. You will see that I can be a dick. Generally, I wait for the other person to fire first, right? Yeah, there's an article I wanna expose myself. Yeah, there's something I've been exposed. To do that, you kind of have to have some evidence. But anyways, there's an article I want to go over in a minute. Maybe let's get the green screen up. Let me get the chat off my screen here. What am I doing? Johnny should have worn sunglasses and a hoodie for the picture. By the way, I like the fact that these sunglasses bug someone. We might be seeing them more often. Jenny says, yes, you are indeed, but you are still a decent stand-up guy most times. Well, I would like to think most people are. I think that's a thing that bothers people about me is I'm not like super positive and glowing about everything. When I see something that's shitty, I'll call it shitty. When I see something that's amazing, I'll call it amazing. And I think that rubs some people the wrong way. They just expect life to be all candy, bubblegum and raindrops or whatever. But it is what it is. Cool apartment. I love the coziness of your place. It's perfect for one person. Thank you, Carl Roth. Johnny casting for the new 007. But let's get the green screen up. Oh yeah, my 7-Eleven. Oh, It's funny. We were mentioning fitness and the ring. A viewer reached out to me. Remember I did that fitness video where I like worked out? A viewer asked me to do like an update on that video. No. uh, sorry, I'm not a fitness expert. This isn't a fitness channel, but they asked me on Patreon. I'm gonna reply to you. I know you're watching in the chat right now. That's the only reason I'm bringing this up. Thank you for your question. Maybe at the 1 year mark. You know, I have a pretty embarrassing picture of me with my shirt off and I'm all like skinny fat and not exactly looking very fit. So maybe, you know, after a workout when I've got like a nice pump on and actually look kind of jacked, as if that's even possible, I'll take that very misleading picture and I'll put them side by side, because that's what every YouTuber does, right? They go do a bunch of push-ups, they do a bunch of curls, they get their muscles all big and inflated, which is a true thing. It really happens. Then they set the lighting up and they're like, look at me now, look how awesome I am. And then 20 minutes later, you know, their guts hanging out and they look like shit again. That's just life. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. There's a gap in, yeah, that gap is going to go away because we're going to fill the green screen. But also, don't worry, Ken. These you're in no worry of being Toronto's second strongest walktuber. I'm not even in the top 10 probably. But that might be another reason why I don't really want to update it, because, you know, we're still a work in progress over here. But let me get this green screen going. Do filters. How professional is this? Pew. Now I just need to turn a light on. There we go. Lisa says, still scrawny? That, someone sent me a clip of, I don't mean to go back to that person, but apparently I am so scrawny, a person probably a third of my size and strength could snap me like a twig. That, I literally spat my drink out when I heard that. Like, good fucking luck. Call me skinny fat, you know, call me whatever, but that's a hilarious word, scrawny. Yes, I am quite the weakling. You can really snap me like a twig. That was, yes. Anyways, delusional that person is. Carl says, I love women who are into fitness and like to take care of their own bodies. We get to admire that and show off our skin and bones. What about men? Just say I like people who are into fitness. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with people that aren't into it. We all have different priorities. We all have different goals in our life. We all have different schedules. Some people can't financially, time-wise, whatever. You like what you like, but, you know, don't single out a gender there. You can tell the difference. Veins popping out of your arms now, says Divyesh. This? That's just a vein popping out of arm filter I applied. That is mostly just losing body fat. That's not gaining muscle. That's just losing body fat. When a lot of actors, like the guy who played James Bond, whatever his name is, whenever you see them in movies, they're usually pretty small. They just cut the weight and then they get a little pump on and it looks like they've been working out for years. That's a little trick Hollywood actors do in those movies. Very few of them actually get. Chris Pratt gets pretty jacked. But there's a lot of videos on YouTube that show how Daniel Craig, that's it, show that how actors prepare for roles. The camera does like make, and a lot of male actors are actually on the short side, right? A lot of them like are 5'8", 5'9", so they just look bigger than they really are. It's really hard to look muscly if you're like 6'2", but if you're 5'7", 5'8", it's really easy. That's just the way life and biology works. I'm just a 5'11" schmuck somewhere in the middle who looks neither big or small. Let's get my screen up here. Let me get my screen up here. All right. And holy shit, 327, 328 viewers. Thank you so much, guys. That's a healthy size crowd. There we go. The Johnny Stumbles channel. Chris Pratt is married to Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter. Arnold Schwarzenegger's son was in The White Lotus, right? Apparently Chris Pratt hates working out. Apparently he hates exercise. He just loathes it. Which is kind of funny because he's got like a superhero physique in a lot of movies. All right. Give us a hint about your trip, Jeanette. Here's a hint. I am flying not Air Canada. ChatGPT will estimate your body fat if you give it a photo and some measurements. Yeah, the only real way to know is like get a DEXA scan. You know, there's apps that'll do that too. That'll take my scale says I'm 15%, which I think is bullshit because I've gained about 6 pounds. I'm probably 16, 17%, but that's a huge difference. Like it's just guessing, right? They don't know those things. Harjot says, how's your day, Johnny Stumbles? It's good. We're having a interesting live stream. Jollykin scale screams, get off. That would be hilarious. Imagine a scale that like talks smack and made like sounds, or just one that like no matter how much you weighed, just like shrieked whenever you step on it. That would be awesome. Lisa says you got 18,000 steps today. Johnny M gave me my 100th like. Awesome. There's proof that I did nothing today. 3195. That's my step count. What was my step count the other day? Yeah, we're having a down day. The Great Escape saw me on TV. Was it your TV now, or are you watching this on a smart TV? Awesome. Johnny going to Ireland to stumble on Grafton Street. Okay. Brad and Marie Palmer know where I'm going because I told them. But all I'll say is the primary language is not English, and it involves an airplane. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Won't be, last year was what? Belgium and London. The year before, I forget, Paris and Spain. The year before, the Netherlands. Probably not Europe. Probably not Europe. Mike T says Montreal. Yeah, there's a guess. You can guess all you want. I'm just going to show up. Douglas Blackwell says Korea. Brooke says Quebec. Lisa says I don't care. Just have a good time. Yeah, I don't know how much content I'm going to make. I might take a few days off from making videos and just do a live stream that day instead. I have no plans. Going with a few cool folks again. So, we'll see. I'll at least get an airport and flight video. That's it. That's all I will reveal. Australia, they don't really speak English. Good eye, Estelle might take offense to that. Carl says, the funny thing about meeting Tom Cruise was that I followed him, is that I towered over him. I'm 6'1" and 160 pounds, and he is 5'6" and 99 pounds. Yeah, that's the thing. Male actors tend to be, I think it might be due to like framing. It's easier to frame the shot. I don't know. RMDVTO says, if you're going Korea, please go South Korea, not North Korea. Tell us something we don't know. Mike T says, no Southeast Asia, I hope. I can confirm no Southeast Asia. Douglas says, do all your live streams become videos? They become, in the Twitch world, they disappear after a certain amount of time. In the YouTube world, they just stay. They stay, and I load them up with advertisements. Sorry, not sorry. Get YouTube Premium if you hate ads. Man's got to eat his Chipotle. But, yeah. Did you know there is someone who films planes at Pearson Airport? There's numerous people who do that. Are you going live next Sunday? I'm going to try to. Greg met Stallone at the Indy one year. He was a short ass like myself. But are you a badass like him? But anyways, the article I wanted to mention, which I thought was kind of neat, because remember I mentioned I can be kind of a dick? Rail operator will issue $116 fines for bear beating on trains. So this says, in travel news this week, airlines sued for selling windowless window seats. Cool. Venomous seats. Anyways, bear beating. So amusing name, so annoying in practice. We reported back in May on bear beating, the growing trend of playing music or video out loud on public transport. A backlash was underway with an opposition political party in the UK calling for the government to issue fines to offenders. So apparently, a major European rail operator in Ireland has warned customers its train inspectors are going to issue £100 fines for etiquette crimes like playing music without earphones, vaping, and putting bags or feet on seats. This sounds like fucking heaven. I would love that. There's always people that do that shit, and I just bite my lip. Life's too short. Also, don't engage with crazy, right? A dude actually got stabbed because he told someone off because they were like playing their phone out loud. But holy crap, use mute on your phone if you don't have headphones. Put your damn headphones on. Keep your fucking bag off the seat. Keep your dirty feet off the seat. People sit on there. Keep your food off the seats. Just be a normal fucking person and show some respect and decent etiquette to other people. I wish our society was at the point where we could like send people walking on our transit vehicles, ticketing people doing that. That sounds like heaven to me. Yes, I'm a petty asshole, but I like it. I also like the idea of parking cops just giving tickets to people who parked where they shouldn't. Maybe I'm a dick. I don't know. If you don't want the ticket, follow the rules, right? You get no sympathy from me. So I like this. Jollykin says the French will push your feet off the seats. Good for them, but on one hand, yeah, never put a finger on another person. Even if that person's in the wrong, you touch them, you might get smacked in the face and you might deserve it. Don't touch other people, period. Just ask them nicely and give them a dirty fucking look if they don't. Maybe tell them off, but don't put your hands on other people. That would not fly. But anyways, yeah, I thought that was neat. I wish our society was at the point where we could crack down on these assholes. But nope. Lisa says, I elbow people and you do too. Don't lie. That's different. That's when people when there's personal space issues. That's when people are shoving their way onto a subway train. Or the worst, I was getting off at Bloor Young and there was someone standing in the doorway with their backpack on the side that the doors were opening, and they weren't getting off, and they just stood there. I gave a really nice little extra shove as I made my way out. I was going to make contact with this person anyways. Yeah, so you're calling me a hypocrite. Cool. Maybe I'm a hypocrite. But I took a lot of pleasure in just using my elbow to create a little guardrail between me and them because I don't want to body check them, and just giving a little lean and just kind of throwing. And this was a big dude too. This was a big, strong guy. I don't care. You're an asshole. Get out of the fucking way. Katie says, quiet cars, not always. Too many inconsiderate people on the go. Yeah, but also remember, some people need to take up more than one seat. They may be disabled. They may just be very large and it's difficult to keep themselves contained to a space, right? They might have a cane or use your judgment. I'm not going to go pushing old ladies over or pregnant ladies. But, if you're an asshole and it's pretty clear, yeah, you're going to get an elbow or a shoulder from me if you're in the way. Same thing goes with those assholes who march up the stairs on the far right or on the far left when I'm being courteous and going out of my way to go down the right. Use your judgment. There's always people that need to hold the rail. There's always people that need to stand side by side on an escalator. Maybe they have CP. Maybe they're escorting someone a child or an elderly person. That's cool. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm an etiquette snob. So I like this. Anyways. Katie says, no, I mean feet on the seats and loud talking in the quiet zone. Somebody called me out for doing that on my live stream on the Go Train, talking in the quiet zone. Did you know the quiet zone has posted hours? So the quiet zone isn't always the quiet zone. I was talking under my breath. It was a live stream. Whenever I'm on transit, I'm super, super... I go out of my way not to make a lot of noise, right? I don't want other people to be like listening to me just as like, I don't know. I'm just very conscious of that. So I'm always kind of talking like this very quietly with my camera at the window. And someone's like, dude, you're in the quiet zone. You should shut the fuck up in my comments. And I looked and like the quiet zone had posted hours. It's like, actually, I can talk at regular volume here. This is not the quiet hours for the quiet zone. It's during rush hour that those hours apply. So yeah, I was just talking under my breath. Maybe the microphone was picking it up really well, but it is what it is. Harold Reynolds says, what's the difference between a well-dressed man on a bicycle and a poorly dressed man on a tricycle? Attire. Awesome. Douglas says, Japan, it's very rude to be loud. It's very rude to do a lot of things in Japan, right? It's very rude to walk on the wrong side of anything. They have little markings in the subway station, like you must walk on this side. Everybody follows it. It's very rude to like stand on both sides of an escalator. Everybody follows it. It's like a level of OCD you have never seen before. And I love it. But again, I'm an asshole and I like that sort of thing. But it's amazing how so many people can share a space with so little room so well. They got that shit figured down to an art. They are very, very, very respectful of other people's personal space and other people's just existence, right? Someone steps on the back of your shoe. In Canada, we just kind of look the other way and pretend we didn't do it. In Japan, they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Like, it's just like, dude, don't be sorry. It was a fucking accident. You're not trying to step on my foot. But they will apologize profusely. It's a very fascinating culture. I really like it, and I will probably be back to Japan. Devin says America is so passive about their rules, and they post so many signs they don't enforce. Yeah, Lisa says I say sorry if yeah, I do too. But I've had it happen to me where you're kind of like, huh. You know, it's just someone being careless and they don't say it. Mike T says Japan is very groupthink. Hey, you deleted your message. I don't know why. Anyways, so what was going on this weekend? Henry had a get together. Again, I'm sorry I couldn't make it, but I was happy to make it on Friday and meet Brad and Marie again. And Mark D, Vasily and Liam were there. But Henry he had a meetup. This guy streamed for 11 hours and 44 minutes, then a follow-up stream for an hour. Then he streamed today for 9 hours. I don't have that kind of energy to keep it up, but holy shit, Henry. Good stuff. I'm sure he had a big turnout. That looks like T-Shots. What did she do? She normally goes live on Saturday, right? T-Shots live in Toronto. Yep. Oh, that looks like Boom Graham. Boom Productions. I haven't seen him in a while. Good stuff. T-Shots exploring Toronto's failing malls. Oh, just to clarify, by the way, just random thought that came out of my head. A dead mall is not a mall that is closed. It's not a mall that is shuttered. It's merely a term for a mall that isn't doing so well. That's on its last legs. That is mostly vacant stores. Cumberland Terrace, 100% a dead mall. That thought just popped in my head. Anyways, yeah. When I saw her exploring Toronto's failing malls, you could say failing malls. Gertej says, I like to meet Sapand and Boom Productions one day. Yeah, Boom was super, super friendly. He lent me a coat for the St. Patrick's Day parade, which was neat. And when the organizer of the parade found out how many views my stream got. He let me have the coat, which is kind of neat. I was like, no, man. I tried to give it back to him. I messaged him. I was like, dude, I got to get this back to you. And he insisted. So thank you for that, Boom. I'll try to wear it next year. Devin says Dying Mall doesn't have the same ring as Dead Mall. Yeah, Dead Mall is a whole genre on YouTube. That's the only reason I use it and put it in the titles. It is what it is. Many Americans come to Eaton Center to experience the busy malls from their memories of the 80s and 90s. Yeah, the malls, we have some malls that are thriving, right? Eaton Center, Square One, Yorkdale. That's an anomaly in a lot of American towns. They just, got super center Walmarts just sucking all the life out of it. It's sad. Your malls, which are these like downtown replacements, if you live in suburbia, are losing out to like Amazon and Walmart supercenters. Like, that's pretty dystopian fucking living there, in my opinion. Carl says, usually when someone is blocking my way in a subway train, I will pass some gas. I know that this moment before you get off the train nearly move them in a hurry, and then you look at them. Harjot says, I recorded a walk on your short video. Awesome, Harjot. Congrats on that. Always happy to share channels of viewers on this channel. Harjot. Sunrise. I'll post a link if you want to check out Harjot's channel. There you go. Check it out. Awesome. We got a pretty cool community of people. Always happy to show their stuff. I recorded a walking video and checking out the sunset. Chris Mills says dystopian. You haven't seen nothing yet. I don't know. Do you think like this Amazon era is at its peak and like retail is going to hang on at the level it is? Because like everyone has access to Amazon now, right? Free next day shipping on just about anything, as cheap as you can get it in the store. Like, I don't know what more they can do. So I think it gives you a little bit of hope that, people like going out. People like window shopping. People like touching and feeling things and picking them up and bringing them home. I think for some people, there's like a dopamine hit with that some people probably get that dopamine hit from the Amazon package when it shows up. But I've gotten off of the Amazon train. I've started carrying all my shit from the grocery store. It is what is. Part of that is the Amex Cobalt card. I get 5. Someone asked me earlier, what's so good about the Amex Cobalt card? I get 5 times points from the Metro. I get 1 times points from Amazon. That's like, it's crazy. It's like everything I buy, you're getting like a 5 to 7% discount off just by using this credit card, providing you turn them into Aeroplan points and then you use those Aeroplan points on flights and not something stupid. You literally get 5 to 7% off everything you buy just by using this Amex card. It's pretty awesome. Spunkum says, I get things on Amazon that I can't get in Yeah, that's my policy with Amazon. Greg says, I tried, but he remembered. Carl says there's this thing called crop dusting and people do it when they're irritated by people who complain. I don't know. I just can't bring myself to rip gas in public. I don't know. I don't know about that. I've heard about that. Not my thing. Whitby dude, do you save Metro Moy? No, I've really simplified things. I just use Amex Cobalt and I have a card that gives me cash back and that's it. Cost of Amex I just heard that. You'd have to do the math on that. If your monthly spend, I don't know. I can't comment on that. It was $12.99 when I got it. It's probably still worth it because if you want a credit card that's comparable, you're paying at least $160 a year, or you're letting some asshole fuckface bank hold like $5,000 or $6,000 of your money hostage just to waive the credit card fee, so they can go invest it and make like 10-12% off of that. Like, it's just stupid. Lisa says, you seem to have a lot to comment on tonight. Don't stop now. Yeah, maybe it was just a product of sleeping all day. Which Airbnb are you booked when you get there? Honestly, I don't even know where I'm staying on this trip. I don't know if it's a hotel or an Airbnb. I expect charts on the topic by next stream, Johnny, says Greg. You can just ask ChatGPT that. You can just ask it. It'll make you those charts. It'll do all that stuff. But, Bighorn MT. I don't know. I had trouble finding his channel before. I'm subscribed to him on my main channel, but for reasons, we'll just say reasons. This is a fake bullshit Johnny Strides account. This is not my actual YouTube login. My actual YouTube login is not on this web browser. I don't want to accidentally overshare something. Whitefield says, good evening, Johnny and everyone in the chat. How's everyone doing tonight? I finally got my S25 Plus fully set up. Awesome. Congrats on that. We're doing well. This hasn't been a remotely juicy live stream at all. Don't bother to go back and watch it. Do you shop for bargains for your traveling? It depends on my company. When I travel alone, I tend to be kind of frugal. When I travel with other people, you're often splitting costs, so it's not as important, share. I'd rather share a nice place than share a shitty place. But when I'm by myself, I'd rather have like the shitty place. That's just the way the way it is. So it's a mix. It's especially hard when I'm traveling for YouTube solo, because it's like, what am I doing on this trip? Am I trying to make money? If I'm trying to make money, I really can't be staying anywhere fancy. It's a I've talked to other YouTubers who have that same struggle. Like, they're like, I'm a travel YouTuber and yet I lose money on these trips. It is what it is. So I just kind of play it by ear and see however I feel like when I do that. Do you stuff everything into a carry-on? Yes. Carry-on only. Fuck checking bags. Fuck that. No thank you. Never will I ever, unless I'm moving. But anyways, let's see what's going on in the world of BlogTO. Do you like solo traveling more or traveling with people? One's a hamburger, one's a hot dog. And I don't mean that in an insulting way. I mean that in like they're just two different things that will both satisfy if you're hungry. They're good. They're both good. I like doing both. I will say traveling with other people requires being on the same page as them for me, and just having one or two other people. You have to be like-minded, and you have to be on the same page with a lot of stuff. And you have to be like not someone that you're not going to like be pissed off of because they're a slob and like make a mess of the bathroom or that sort of thing. When I travel with, sometimes I insist on separate rooms for myself because I can be kind of a hard to deal with. Jeanette, thank you for tuning in. Jeanette, have a good night, Jeanette. Ontario's winter forecast for 2025 has arrived, and here's what's in store. I'm going to pass on that one. Video Hongdae 4K Seoul Nightwalk. Why is it like this again today? I don't know, Chowdhury. Whose video is that? Oh, I know what I wanted to do. This is hilarious. This guy, since we were talking about YouTube earlier, I'm pretty friendly with some of the people in New York City or former New York City channels. Fun fact, way back when this channel started, it was basically me, Ken, and my walk around. The three of us were just bopping around Toronto, all similar channels, similar videos, getting the same amount of views. And I just wanted to do something different. So I had made friends with Action Kid at that time, started asking him about narrated videos because I wanted to like be a little different. So it was New York City, those channels that inspired me to do the narrated videos in Toronto. And that's what really sort of got the ball rolling on this channel. So thank you, New York City, for doing that. And also for the live streams. No one in Toronto was live streaming, and I got that idea from these New York walktubers. So thank you, guys. I blatantly copied you, but I don't care. You're awesome inspiration. That is the like ground zero for walking on YouTube, period. Without New York City, I don't think this genre would really exist. Maybe there's some big channels in Tokyo, but the channels came from, like, this is where it all started, right? Kind of like if you say grunge started in Seattle, walk tubing started in New York. These guys were the pioneers who paved the way. But look at this. Anime NYC 2025 cosplay and convention walkthrough. Anime 2025 cosplay and convention. Look at the thumbnails. They've got this logo. They've got those titles. If you go to the NYC walking show, his recent videos, Anime NYC 2025 4K cosplay and convention walkthrough. Same titles, same logo on his thumbnails. And what's funny, CFAT here has 315,000 subscribers. This other channel is no small channel. They have 97,000 subscribers. And yet, this person, Afraz Explores, shamelessly copies the New York City walking show. He copies the titles to a word or to a letter. And he copies the thumbnails. Like, do you have no shame? Like, you can't copyright strike this stuff. But this Afraz person, this is something I noticed, and I reached out and I talked to, because I'm friends with this guy who runs this channel. And like, the title of your YouTube video when you're in the walking genre is not super important. Just fucking pop his title into ChatGPT and say, hey, give me an alternative title to this that basically says the same thing but makes it look like I'm not copying it. And it'll do that. But he's copying, like, these videos come first. I follow both of these channels. I didn't really notice that one was copying the other until recently, but it's just shameless. So yeah, I don't like drama. I don't like calling out other YouTubers, but this is low hanging fruit. This is so, like, dude, you've clearly built up an impressive following. You're clearly raking in views. You can stand on your own merits. Why are you copying someone so shamelessly? It's a bad look. So I've unsubscribed from you just for being creatively and morally bankrupt. I'd rather see AI drivel slop than you just taking someone else's stuff. Doesn't that violate? No, not really. It's a title. The thumbnails aren't exactly the same. They're artistic license. And there's very little that you can copyright on YouTube. Most copyright strikes are like made falsely. As long as it's like transformative, you can do that. But yeah, that is shameless. So, but anyways, that came since we were talking about New York City and what an awesome inspiration like Action Kid and these guys were, because really they kind of planted the seeds in cities like Toronto for people like me to say, hey, I need some ideas. Oh, look what they're doing over there. I'll do that. It is what it is, but yeah. NYC Walking Show. I'm not subscribed because this isn't my real account, but I thought Action Kid was a visual effects artist before. No, he wasn't. I know exactly what he did before, but in case he hasn't shared that with his audience, I'm not going to share that with you guys. You can go on his channel and ask him, and maybe he'll answer you. But I don't want to spread information about other people. Like when someone tells you something privately in confidence, I'm not going to open my mouth and share that with other people. I usually know about, like, Action Kid says I was an accountant before. Action Kid is here. Awesome. Action Kid. I was just saying what an amazing inspiration you were for my channel. He says he was an accountant before. And that makes a lot of sense, right? He's a super smart and meticulous person. But thanks for joining in, Action Kid. I wonder what you think of this person shamelessly copying. I bet you've had your fair share of shameless copycats, Action Kid. But yeah, wow, a celebrity has joined us in the chat. Awesome. Greetings. Hi, Action Kid. Now it's my turn to shrivel up and be in awe. They made a movie about him, a sequel as well. Nice. I was thinking of action movie dad. But there you go. He was an accountant. And I believe he told me who he worked for already. Lisa says it's 9:16 already. Wow. We've had a fair bit to unload. What's going on in the world of... Oh, did we even go through BlogTO? Hundreds of lanterns set to light up Toronto Park on the water this fall. These better be biodegradable. Action Kid says, of course, as content creators, we get copied and copyright claims all the time. You know, my studio, I don't know what year, but I have over 100 copyright notifications of other people that have uploaded my stuff. I've given up. I only strike down people that re-upload my work pretending to be me. If it looks like they stole my content and they're trying to make it seem like it's their video, I will bring that shit down. But there's people that like put like, this is a video about Toronto, and there's like 5 minutes of it is just my fucking video in the middle of their video. I just leave it. Who cares? That's fine. It's lazy, it's sloppy, but I see like, oh, you have 20 views. Your channel has 2 subscribers. Like, how petty is it for me to like copyright that? So no, even if I let most of those go. There's a Russian channel that does like political stuff, like commentary, and it's like, I guess it's like a podcast or something, and they just play like walking videos in the background because I guess there's nothing visual. There's no visual element to their content itself, and they use my videos all the time, and I just safe list them. I'm like, fine, I don't even want credit. If you're not going to steal my walking video, you're going to steal someone else's. You might as well have Pretty Toronto to look at, right? So, yeah, it is what it is. But that kind of copyright, like blatantly stealing someone's shit, that's morally and ethically wrong, I guess. Steve-O Tropic says, I notice AI history channels are popping off now. I wonder if YouTube is going to do something about all the AI stuff. Yeah, they are, actually. There's been communications with us about how AI stuff has to be disclosed. AI channels are being demonetized. Yeah, long story short, guys, if you click on a video and you hear like a robotic voice or a voice that is clearly AI, and you can tell there's a stiffness to it, even if it's trying to inject personality, and if all the clips seem like stock footage and the script is just clearly AI written slop and it's a robotic voice, like, I get it. There's some people that maybe English isn't their first language and they're too shy to speak English. I say go for it. I watch plenty of channels where someone has a thick accent or they're difficult to understand. I don't care. If your content's good, I'll watch it. But there's people that for one reason or another use AI voices for reasons they can't contend with, but you can tell it's still quality content. But so much of this content is slop. It's an AI voice. It's bullshit generic comments. There's a lot of fitness content like that too. It's shitty stock footage. When you see that, just unsubscribe and don't watch that shit. It's really the bane of humanity at this point. It's just crazy how much of that shit is being cranked out. And if you see someone posting like 40-minute videos every day that are like deep dives into different subjects and are informative, and there's an AI voice, they're just fucking chat GPTing that shit. They're asking chat GPT or an AI or Grok for a script. They're pumping that into like an AI video service maker. They're slapping on some stock footage and they're uploading it every day. And some people are making real money over that. And I guess good for them, but like, let's not fall for that. Bill Chow says you can name stamp your videos in the lower corner so you get free advertising if someone copies your videos. Bill Chow, people can crop it just a little bit, just a very slight crop, and that goes away. So I'd rather not have that on my videos. I don't like that being there. Or a picture of Toronto with mountains in them. Oh, someone... Oh my goodness. Is that here? Is that here? The Distillery District. What did you do? Boxman? What is that? That's probably someone going to, I don't know. It doesn't look like they're going to Fan Expo. They're at Keele Station. I don't know what that's all about. But the Distillery District put out a poster. Look at this. There's always something happening at the distillery. And they've got this garbage. I can't make that bigger. This garbage AI generated slop. The distillerydistrict.com. You're supposed to be this like, you know, cool little bespoke part of Toronto that's listed near the top of every like tourist guide. And you're doing this? Like, this is not accurate, like, in terms of the scale. Every person in this photo, this is very unrepresentative of Toronto, because not only is every person white, you know, that's possible, I guess, but they don't have a face. Nobody in this picture has a face. They're all these just generic people with no faces. This faceless lady is singing. The clock, I think, has 13 characters in it. Okay, so maybe you don't have the budget to hire an artist. Maybe there's someone that would like do it for free if you let them like sign it and put their name on it. Take a picture with a camera. Run it through any one of a billion free filters online to stylize it and give it whatever look you want. It takes 2 seconds to do that. Like, that's just so insulting that the distillery district would use an AI generated image of the distillery district to advertise the distillery district. Action Kid says even the dog looks bad. Yeah, that is fucking brutal. That's an insult to humanity, isn't it? You know, scrape up the artists, have someone, you know, do it by hand if you can afford them, or work something out with them. There's plenty of talented people in the city that could have done that justice. Or just take out your smartphone and take a fucking picture. Use that. Put it through a filter if you want it to be stylized. But that is horrible. So yeah, I don't know. The only thing worse than this is when you go to like a farmer's market and there's people selling AI generated pictures in frames. This needs to stop. This needs to stop. Doesn't it? I don't know. You guys are probably saying like, you need to stop. You've been streaming for a while. We're at 300 viewers. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Do like, subscribe, hit the bell. There is membership to this channel. There's also membership on the Johnny Strides channel. You are not in any way, shape, or form required to join, but I will do a little happy dance inside if you do. Yeah, that's it. Should we just take some viewer calls? Should we just do some viewer calls? Maybe we should do some viewer calls. We didn't do viewer calls last week. Maybe we should just do that. Fit to screen. Filters. Nobody needs to see my stupid face looking so big. Chroma key. Let me turn that off. There we go. Dylan is waiting. Whippy Dude says, hopefully your sleep cycle isn't reversed now. Oh no, I just murdered a plant doing that. Oh no. It was a shitty plant anyways. When I took my green screen down, it grabbed the top of this plant and it pulled it down. This used to be like standing upright. Look what I just did to this plant with my green screen. Like the edge of it caught part of the plant and like yanked it down, and now it's like flopping over hard. What I'm going to have to do is maybe get one of those like bamboo stick things and like stick that in the middle of the pot and just tie the plant around it to stand it up straight. It needs to be watered by the look of it. It's been watered pretty good. It just got a little. I water my plants once a week usually. Oh, poor plants. Poor plants. Hey, plants have feelings too. Yikes! At least the plant won't die a slow, painful death. It'll be fine. It'll come back. Yeah, all of my plants are pretty hardy, just based on the fact that they didn't die. When I went to Japan and Thailand earlier this year, I like set up this janky homemade self-watering system, and it worked. They were all fine when I came back. My monstera is out of control. It's just like 1,000 times bigger. It takes up like a quarter of my apartment pretty much. Whippy Dude says the one behind you. Yeah, all my plants are fine. This one I literally just murdered. Like, it was standing up straight before this live stream. Anyways. Oopsie doopsie. Where is... Hey, Dylan Reynolds is calling. We got a caller. We haven't even posted the phone number. Hello, Dylan. Hi, Dylan. How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Good. Can you tell me the phone number that you just called, Dylan? I don't know my own phone number.
It's 647 is 33313 and 9658.
9658?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not pinning a wrong phone number for people to call someone else, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully. Sorry, 647-313-9658. If that's not me, then yeah. Well, Dylan, how's it going?
Doing good. I went to the C&E today.
What was your favorite part of the CNE?
Well, I went on the ride.
What was your favorite ride?
Probably the drop tower.
Yeah, that's. Did you get the ride pass or did you buy? Did you load up tickets as you went?
The ride pass.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Lisa loves the drop tower. Neat.
Yeah, and I said the famous words, and I said the words when I was at one point when I think on one of the rides, on one of the times I went on it, I said the words "brace for impact." I said the famous words "brace." Yeah.
Sorry, guys. We got the audio back. I was telling you, everyone was saying we muted it. Oops. I was telling everyone on the drop tower at Canada's Wonderland, my first time ever on it, Drop Zone, they were doing the countdown from 10 when we got to the top, but the guy dropped us on 6. Matt Bross says he can't hear or see. I can see you fine. We're live. Sorry, guys. I didn't notice. We're back. This is Johnny Stumbles. Well, Dylan, do you have anything else to share with us?
Well, my mom's going to be going to British Columbia this week.
That's exciting. That's big news.
Yeah, and also the last time we talked, we were in Nebraska, Nova Scotia. We were talking.
Get off the phone, Dylan.
We were talking about the wheel bearing situation, and you want to tell them what happened?
That was we got our car fixed.
The Canadian Tire. You're at the mercy of Canadian Tire, right? You were just a little, to let the viewers know. So the Reynolds family was out in the East Coast, and they were facing the prospect of being stranded as they ran into automobile troubles. And it was the weekend, and a Canadian Tire fortunately took their car in, and I'll let you pick it up from here.
Well, it was the weekend, but the thing is that in Nova Scotia, all mechanics close up promptly at 5:30 or 5 o'clock on Fridays, and they don't open again until Mondays. Here in the center of the universe, you can get your car fixed any day of the week, but it's not in Nova Scotia. So we basically had to cool our heels for 2 days until Monday morning.
Mm-hmm.
But we had family who came to rescue us and take us down to the house, and had a good family gathering anyways. And then on Monday we got it in. We had a tow truck had to tow the car in because the wheel bearing totally broke.
Mm-hmm.
It would make this awful noise. And to make a long story short, we got it in at 11. The mechanics had to have their lunch. So we didn't get the car until about 1:45. And then I drove off to Port Hawkesbury, where there's an intersection of a Harold Street and a Reynolds Street, which I've been wanting to visit for a long time.
And you got a picture of it, I take it?
Oh, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So that was posted on Facebook and completed my life. And then we went off and finished our vacation.
Awesome.
We stayed in Windsor. We went to Moncton, and then we went to Edmonton, and then we went to and then we went back into Cornwall, and then we went back home, and then we came back home. But you saw the video, but the videos are all out now.
Awesome. Awesome. And life threw you a curveball, and you managed to get a hit, which is cool. Well, I'm glad that worked out. I'm glad you had an awesome trip. But you know what I'm going to ask for you, or from you?
It's time for the jokes.
Yeah.
Okay. Why did the cookie cry?
Why did the cookie cry? You got me.
Because his father was a wafer so long.
Because his father was a wafer so long. Are you coming up with these jokes yourself?
I have a collection. I've been collecting them for a very long time. I've got like 5,200 and something in my collection now.
So this little segment of mine is pretty much tailor-made for you.
Yeah, that's, I've been wanting to spread my joy for years, so it's 5,235 in my collection.
Well, you first made notoriety by yelling at Dylan to get off the phone. You became quite popular for that. Well, I'm not going to let you go though without telling us another one. It's mandatory.
Another joke? Okay.
Yeah. We demand 2 jokes from you. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, if a seagull flies over the sea, what does where was it? Yeah, what flies over the bay?
If a seagull flies over the sea, what flies over the bay? A bagel?
A bagel. That's right.
Oh, that's my first time ever getting a joke that I haven't already heard. Well, thank you, Harold Reynolds. Thank you, Dylan. I'm glad you had a great time at the CNE, and I'm glad your trip worked out. So kudos to the folks at Canadian Tire, and hopefully they didn't screw you over and charge you for a new Johnson rod.
Yeah.
All right, Dylan. Thank you. I'm sure we'll talk to you again in a future stream.
No. I think we got a deal.
Yeah, we're gonna keep going with it.
All right. Well, thank you, Dylan. Have an awesome week.
All right. See ya.
See ya. That was Dylan Reynolds. We got another phone call already coming in. Hello there.
Hey, is this Johnny?
This is Johnny. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, this is Marcus. Marcus, this is awesome.
This
I've been
okay.
trying to call in a couple times.
This is Marcus from Arizona.
From Toronto. Arizona, where'd you get that?
Well, so you identify as a Torontonian?
I do, of course.
Not a Georgetown-onian?
No. No way. No, I'm over in basically like Bickford Park.
Oh, is this you know what's funny, Marcus? I have a cousin named Marcus, and you sound just like him, and I thought that's who I was speaking to.
No way.
Well,
I'm not your cousin, Johnny.
I thought this was my cousin, and you were like kind of trolling me. That's
too funny.
Okay,
so I have a question for you. As kind of a symbolic Toronto figure, I would say. Can you think of a greater month to be in the city of Toronto and the entire history of the city than June 2019 when the Raptors won the NBA Finals? Because based on what I know about you, you were around when the Blue Jays went back-to-back. But
Yeah.
do you think that the buzz in the city was as big in 2019 as it was back then, or at any other point in the city's history?
Okay, 92, 93, we were big Blue Jay fans. We shared season tickets, so I went quite a bit. A guy my dad worked with had season tickets, and we were constantly offered them. Third base line, a few rows up. It was awesome. We were at the first ever series at the Skydome. Huge baseball family, but I lived in Mississauga, and also I was like 13. So when the Blue Jays won the World Series back then, I don't know what it was like on the streets other than what we saw on TV. My parents they let me stay home to watch the Blue Jays parade on TV because they held it during a weekday. I think both times. But in terms of just that celebratory atmosphere and buzz, I remember just going out because I live at Yonge and Eglinton, and when they won, I just went outside, and it was a zoo outside. People were elated. And then at work, I remember my company, because I worked at First Canadian Place, said during the parade, everyone can go down if they want and just like take part in it. Like
Absolutely.
free day. So, and I had never seen it was just a pure celebration. So I think in terms of just people being elated, in terms of just being a big old happy city, I think that's probably peak Toronto. Maybe only because of social media, there's a bigger critical mass of sharing these things with one another than there was in 92, 93. I think if the Blue Jays won a World Series, I think that would be bigger than the Raptors. I really do. Just because when the Blue Jays were in the playoffs, I was going to those games. I was at the Donaldson when he came home on that play to first when they won and they beat Texas. I was there when Edwin walked off the Orioles with his home run in the wild card game.
A great moment.
And I literally went from the Sky Dome up to Dundas Square, and you're just marching with crowds and crowds of people. And honestly, the city was more abuzz than they were after Raptor games when they won playoff games.
Yeah.
So I think, the Maple Leafs, that's another story. That might blow the lid off the whole damn city.
I think so too.
But I've never seen a bigger moment than the Raptors, but I will predict if the Jays do it, it's going to be bigger. And that might just be because the stadium seats twice as many people, so you've got an extra 20,000 people on the streets. That might play a role in it. I don't know, but I think that's you would win with that answer if someone said, "What's the most energy? What's the best time to ever be in Toronto?" That period after they won and the days that followed up to the parade, and including the parade, were just unreal. Yep.
I think a great part of it was it really put Toronto on the map, where if we win a championship, it really, I think any sport, Toronto, we have the best fans in the world. And, I was watching the Blue Jays game this afternoon. There's nobody in the stadium in Miami. Even their last series against Pittsburgh, I think it was. There's more Blue Jays fans in the stands than these other teams. So whatever happens, whether it's this year, fingers crossed, or next year, or whatever team, I think Toronto is just ready to blow up again and celebrate, especially after the pandemic and everything else. I just think, this city loves to party after a championship, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, I think the Raptors winning was a massive exhale because we hadn't had anything since 93. And the Leafs, and no offense to the Toronto FC and Toronto Argos, they have both won. But honestly, that's like oh, yay, we won.
Yeah.
And the next day, it's like, oh, yeah, that happened. And then you don't even think about it again, unless you're like a hardcore fan. They're clearly not at the same level as the big three teams. So, yeah, it's exciting. We've got a team that actually has promise that might actually make it to the big dance. I think it's super exciting. It's a good time to be in the city. And Leafs are, they are what they are. The Raptors are a bit of an unknown. They're doing some management changes, but love the direction the Jays are heading in. And I think you're absolutely right. I don't think you'll find a better time to be in Toronto, unless you're annoyed by that stuff, than when the Raptors won.
Exactly. Awesome. Great talking with you, Johnny. And I look forward to all the great videos this fall. I think Toronto looks great in the fall, and I look forward to all the content you have coming up.
Oh, and you said you're at Bickford Park?
Yeah, I'm around, like Harvard, Nossington area.
Awesome. I love walking through there
from the East End originally. So anywhere in the city by I like any Toronto content as it comes.
Yeah, I love that area in particular when the leaves start changing colors. Those residential streets, they're just
Oh, yeah.
amazing. I have a real soft spot for Palmerston. Like, I just
I
think
was
that
just
that's
about to say that. It's like it heals your soul. A nice fall walk down Palmerston is the best thing you can do.
but the second best thing you can do is any other street in that area because
Yeah.
they're all good.
They all
And
stack
there's
up
like
pretty well.
little and the laneways are full of like
Yeah.
there's little nooks and crannies you can get lost in. Anyways, as is tradition, do you have a joke for us, Marcus?
You know, I wish I did. I was racking my brain while I was waiting to get through, but I'll come up with a good one for the next call.
All right. Well, thank you so much for calling. Sorry, I misidentified you as my cousin, but
I hope your cousin sees this video. I think it'd be funny.
he does watch sometimes. That's the only reason. But thank you, Marcus.
Awesome. Have a good night, all right?
You too, sir. All right. Have a good one.
Take care. Bye.
That was Marcus. We got another phone call coming in. Hello there.
Hello, what's up, Johnny?
Hey, who are we speaking with?
The one that sniped you on Gerard.
It is Romero.
Yes, sir.
What's up, Romero? How's it going?
It's going great. I'm glad that it's gonna be September soon, so we can get some, hopefully, last minute hot weather before it drops down to 14 and 12 degrees from now on.
You know, we've had a few days recently that were absolutely perfect. Like
Yeah.
you could wear jeans and a hoodie or shorts and a t-shirt and you didn't make the wrong decision. Like it's like you can't dress wrong. It's just comfortable, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the right mix, and even at night it doesn't cool down so much that you're cold, like what happens
Yeah.
in the fall. So you're still
Yeah.
fine in your jeans and a t-shirt, especially if you've had a few drinks. But it's yeah, no. I think this is the best time of year. We can still have some like scorching hot days. I remember going to the CNE as a kid, and it was just like stupidly hot. But
Yeah.
I gotta turn my phone keeps making noise here. There we go. So Romero, what's up?
And I was dragged to the CNE yesterday.
Dragged against your wishes.
Yeah, my nieces wanted me to go. They wanted Uncle to go. And if Uncle didn't go, they were going to be disappointed.
Did you go on the rides with them?
No. No.
So
I don't do enough of that. I'm just a spectator.
you were just being the parental figure.
Yeah, plus I went with my cousins. My cousins went too, so I didn't spend time with the kids, my brother's kids the whole day. I chilled with my cousins too.
Did you play any games?
Yep, I won a couple of stuffed animals for my nieces.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I think that I saw some people saying like the CNE isn't what it used to be. People say that every year. Like it's basically literally what it used to be. That might be a problem. Like it literally doesn't change. Like it's some of the exhibits here or there change, but it's very much a repeat experience, at least in recent years.
Nothing changes, just the prices.
Yeah, and they have a few different wacky food items. But I saw a thread on people on Reddit complaining about it. I'm like, to me, it's very similar.
And it's like people complain about it because they bought it and they were complaining that it's expensive. Nobody told you to buy those nonsense, anyways. You know?
Yeah, exactly. It's your money. It's your time. You can do with it what you wish. But I don't think complaining is very constructive. I think it's a fun event, right? And there's nothing else like it on that scale in North America.
Yeah, exactly. So you should expect it's the same nonsense every year. You should expect to be the same stuff.
Exactly. Well, Romero, you know what I'm going to ask you, and I know you've come prepared.
All right.
Let's hear it.
Ready?
We're ready. We're ready.
I got two, okay?
One sec. Brad Palmer, you're very welcome. It was awesome to meet you again and to meet Marie, as well as hang out with Mark D and all the others, including a couple of mods on this channel. But anyways, Romero, let's hear it.
Why do steaks make good comedians?
Why do steaks make good comedians?
Yep.
Let me know. I don't know.
Because they're always well done. Ta-doom.
Be- I don't know about that. I had my steak medium rare. I like it. I like it a little bit red and juicy, but I get your joke.
I got another one.
All right, let's hear it.
The last one. What happens when you fight a dinosaur?
What happens when you fight a dinosaur? You got me.
You get your ass kicked.
You get your ass kicked. Ha! Little play on words. Well, Romero, always a pleasure. Feel free to come say hi anytime I'm around Gerard and Pape or that general area, or anywhere else. You're always welcome to come say hi and call in. Thank you, Romero.
Yes, sir. Have a great week.
You too, sir. Have a good one. Cheers.
Are you going to do the CNE last week for the last live, or are you just done with it now?
I don't know. I said I was going to go in the evening, and that's up in the air right now. I legitimately don't know. Well,
all right, then.
I'll say this. I wouldn't count on it. I was hoping to go, but I wouldn't count on it.
You already went once, right?
Yeah. All right,
All
Romero.
right.
Take care.
All right,
bye. That was Romero. Oh, we got a 404 number. Hello there. Someone going off in a language that wasn't English. I'm sorry. I have no way of knowing if you were saying something offensive or not, so I'm just not going to put that on. Hello there.
Oh, I guess my timing was really good here. that phone call must have fell apart just now.
Yeah, that was someone was going on, and it wasn't English, and they were speaking a mile a minute, and I just, since I have no idea what they're saying, it could be harmless, but it could also be something nasty, so it's your lucky day.
My sixth sense is sound a little sinister, so yeah, it's a good thing you hung up.
And you're calling from a 330 area code.
Yes, Northeast Ohio. I am a second-time caller, a long-time fan. This is Matt Bross.
Matt Bross, how's it going?
Pretty good. And it sounds like things are going great for you. And again, congrats on your feature with the CBC there.
Oh, thank you. They, it was a very, very slow news week last week in Toronto. So
You're too modest.
I don't know. Also, a very talented writer picked a certain headline to that story. I don't think it would have got some interest without a little bit of clickbait. But hey, they're professionals. It is what it is. Northeast.
That's what they're
I
paid to do. Yeah.
I probably asked you this last time, but do you go to Cedar Point?
I haven't been there in several years. I'm not much of a roller coaster fan. It's sacrilege for the Highland to say that. But I do enjoy their water park and their beach. It's one of the better beaches on Lake Erie. And you don't have to pay admission to the park to go to that beach. It's nice and sandy, and the water's warm because it's relatively shallow there, too. So, I know many people are big fans of Cedar Point. It's probably about 2 hours from where I live.
Yeah, I'm a little bitter that they bought Cayuga Lake and shut it down. I wanted to go to that place. It looked... It looks like it was very nice and picturesque, like just a big lake and roller coasters all around it. And Cedar Fair bought it, and they gutted it, and they shut her down. And it used to have a water park too.
What was the name of the place they bought?
It's called like Cayuga Lake.
I know the name, but I don't know where it's at.
It's like an hour from Cedar Point. It's like we planned a road trip where we were going to go to both one year, but you guys have like Kings Island there too, right, in Ohio? So
Kings Island, yeah. It's funny you say that. I just released a driving video where I drive by that on I-71. So yeah, I used to live in Cincinnati. I used to live 15 minutes from that park when I lived in Cincinnati in the late '90s.
So you're pretty spoiled in the old theme park area over there.
It seems like history repeated itself with Cayuga Lake, whatever, because the Cleveland area used to have our own little local nice amusement park called Geauga Lake.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I pronounced it wrong.
That's the park I grew up with, and we're still bitter about that.
Yeah.
And
well, the room
was close as 15 minutes from there until I moved back to my home area, Youngstown, recently. So, yeah, that was in my backyard.
Back when that happened, the word online was Cedar Fair just bought it to kill their competition and shut it down. That's what.
Yes.
And they kept the water park for like a few years, and then they shut that down. So
yes, that is very true. You are spot on with that. It's almost like it was never there. Now it's like apartments are going up and housing developments, residential. It's sad. It really is.
Yeah, especially since so many people probably had so many awesome memories from that place. So Matt, anything of interest to share with us?
Yeah, in reference to my aborted Toronto trip last year, which I was itching to get back for the first time since December 2018, this Wednesday I'll be arriving in Toronto for 5 days. So I'm really looking forward to getting back there. And hopefully meeting a few people who I've gotten to know online and doing some of my own content. I've been building up my small channel, and things are gradually, I think, starting to move in the right direction. And really looking forward. Toronto, as I said before, is my favorite city, and I can't wait to see what I can do there.
Awesome. Well, I might or might not be around for much of that time, but if I am, maybe we'll be able to say hi. I do have a little trip planned, but I haven't revealed dates just yet. But there will be some time when we're both here, so maybe that'll happen. Also, maybe next Sunday or the Sunday after, when you get that content up, we can take a look on this channel, and I can share your Toronto videos with the audience.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Absolutely. Even though my channel is small, I just realized, and you'll laugh at this, how much work this is when you go to edit videos and upload them. And I have a backlog now. I mean, I just 2.5 weeks ago, I got back from Cincinnati and Kentucky as well. I still got 3 videos I got to do to edit and upload.
I think people grossly underestimate just how time consuming and how much is involved. Even if you're doing like low edit videos, it's not I had some people, because when I was in the media, telling like, get a real job, and it's just like, you just kind of grit your teeth and say, fuck you, asshole, I probably work a lot harder than you do. Like,
now you found out. Like in your article, it says you work like a long out. You sometimes had these real long days. And I was like, yeah, he's not bullshitting any of us.
Yeah, no, it is like, I know some other content creators too, right? It is what it is. It is what it is. RMDVTO says Cincinnati is underrated. Fun fact, when I was a kid growing up, I went to a baseball tournament in Cincinnati, and we kicked the shit out of the local teams there. It was a lot of fun. It was
Well, that says a lot, because Cincinnati, as far as Ohio is concerned, is probably about the best area where homegrown talent is for baseball. What? And the local talent, from Little League through high school, through where they produce to the major leagues and that. So that says a lot.
But I do think we were a half year older than the teams we were playing, because our teams, we go by calendar year. Everyone was on the team born from like January 1 to December 31st. And I think they do like a mid-year split. They don't go. So I think we were like half a year older on average. So in their defense, I think that was the case. but still, we won 4 games and lost 1 in the tournament. So it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed being there.
Yeah, but it does really say a lot, since a lot of the players who play for the Reds stay and raise families, like Ken Griffey Jr. Now.
Yeah, but I also have no idea if the teams we were playing were like, it was those tournaments like are just open invitations, and we were invited, but that doesn't mean we were playing the cream of the crop of that league either, right? So That might have been some basement dwellers we beat up on. It is
Yeah, you probably just beat a bunch of nerds or something like that.
So Matt, do you have a joke for us?
I knew this was coming, so let me give this a shot. And so I'll keep it PG. How do you get 50 Canadians out of a swimming pool?
How do you get 50 Canadians out of the swimming pool or out of you got me.
Yeah. Please get out of the swimming pool.
That will work. That will do the trick.
I was hoping that would pass the test.
That was like an under the radar joke that I guess you just gotta be Canadian to think. Do people really think of us as being
American? So it's kind of hard, and I don't want to piss anybody off when I go up there.
In fairness, when I'm like traveling in the Caribbean or whatever, and there's Americans, they're just as friendly and nice, and like there's like. I don't, there's this idea that Canadians are super friendly, and maybe it's true, but I've only met solid people traveling from both countries. So I think there's a lot of good people in both. But
I'd say a polite, at least. If it's a more universal term, is polite maybe than nice at times. Because I've come across some real, snooty Canadians myself.
But
where I come from the States, we have a lot of assholes where I live, so I'm already hardened to a lot of things about people's behavior.
Well, Matt, thank you so much for calling. I look forward to seeing your Toronto content, and maybe I'll see you on the streets.
Yeah. Hope maybe that'll happen. Yes. Have a good night, and good night to everybody.
All right. Thank you, Matt. Take care. All right, and while he was calling, Ron Hendricks sent 5 Johnny Stumbles memberships. Marg D, Jacques, Intruder, Toronto Walker, and Wesley. Thank you so much. Welcome to membership, where the perks, I don't know what the perks are yet. You get to have a cool little logo next to your name. You get to support whatever this is, Toronto's low-rate B-tier live home stream. But thank you, Ron Hendricks. Thank you so much for the gift of 5 channel memberships. Oh, we're going to only take another call or two here. I just got another one coming through. Hello there.
Hello.
Hi, who are we speaking with?
Diaries of Sarika, but I go by Sarika. Sarika?
Sarika.
Yes. I'm actually a viewer of you, though, Johnny.
Awesome.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Where are you from? Toronto?
Yeah, I'm from Toronto.
Oh, at Diaries of Sarika is your handle?
Yes.
Awesome.
I've actually been away yesterday, so I couldn't watch your stream yesterday. But because I was in the States at Buffalo shopping. But the weather was good. Like, we had great weather so far in the summertime and stuff like that.
Yeah, we've had awesome weather. So that's what you got up to. This, you did a little cross-border shopping this weekend?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. What did you get up to this weekend?
Yesterday I went around Fan Expo, and then I went out to like an 80s 90s party. Had a few beverages, and today that might be why I have the sunglasses on. I basically slept all day. I have 3,000 steps on the day. I have nothing to show for it but this live stream. But it's been an interesting day. But so, do you have anything to share with us?
I've always wanted to come on your stream before. and like walk around with you and stuff like that.
Well, on the live streams, people are welcome to say hi. You know where I am. If you want to say hi on a stream, just come find me, say hi. Just
Yeah.
it is what it is. I can't promise that like we'll be able to walk around for the whole stream, but like you're more than welcome to come say hi and say hi to all the viewers.
Okay.
And you know what I'm gonna ask you, right?
What?
Do you have a joke for us?
No, I don't.
All right. Well, we're gonna take Matt Bross's joke and assign it to you. Well, thank you, Matt Bross, for giving Sarika a joke. Well, thank you so much for calling, and feel free to call in anytime. You're always welcome to call in.
Okay, thank you for having me, Johnny.
Okay. Have a good night. Take care.
You too. Good
Okay.
night.
Bye. That was Sarika, and I think we're going to wrap up. We're a little bit long on the stream tonight. It was a fun stream, not powered by any alcohol or edibles. Tomorrow, I might do a live stream on the Strides channel. I might not post a video tomorrow morning. I might do like a late morning or early afternoon stream. That might be my way of saying I was lazy today and didn't make enough content to cover the week up ahead. So I might do that. I'm going to have some packing to do and preparing for a trip. But thank you so much. Huge thanks to Ron Hendricks. Welcome to our 5 new channel members. Thank you to everyone else who just tuned in. We had a few supers. Thank you for that. Thank you. Just thank you. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, go do all that stuff on the other channel. You guys have been awesome. I've maintained this all along. We got the best damn community in the city on YouTube. You guys are amazing. Love hanging out with you. It's always great to read your chats and interact with you. And I can't do that on the Strides channel because I'm like walking around. It's really hard when you've got 500-600 people watching a stream and the chat's going by a mile a minute and you're walking around a big crazy city. I can't always read the chats and converse with you guys, but this kind of feels like we're all just hanging out together. So I love these streams. Thank you so much, Brad Palmer. It was a pleasure to see you again and meet Marie. I hope you enjoyed your stay in the city. Happy anniversary, by the way. And as Gertej would say, hasta la vista. You too as well, Margdi. Hasta la vista, Gertej. And everyone, have an awesome day. No video tomorrow on the Strides channel, but there will probably be a live stream. Have a good night, guys. Yoink. Now we just sit here.